Greetings, friends, and a very warm welcome to this explainer. Man, I am absolutely thrilled to have you here with us today as we embark on a deeply moving journey. We're going to explore how a rhythmic local beat from the vibrant streets of Jamaica transformed into a massive global movement. We're looking at a genre that became a voice of peace, a powerful tool for resistance, and a bridge for genuine human connection. This, my friends, is the story of reggae.
So, how did a small island's music actually change the world? It's a fascinating question, right? Just think about it for a second. How exactly did the music of a relatively small Caribbean island manage to echo across oceans, conquer international charts, and quite literally change the world? Well, today we're going to uncover how the sheer power of rhythm and undeniable truth bridge the deepest of global divides. We'll see how one island's voice became the entire world's anthem for justice, spirituality, and unity.
Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1. Birth of a movement, taking us back to late 1960s Jamaica.
Now, to truly understand reggae, we've got to set the scene and look at its musical ancestors. The Jamaican music scene was so incredibly vibrant, just pulsing with life, but it was also undergoing a massive transformation. Back in the early 60s, the island was moving to the upbeat, really fast-paced rhythms of ska. Then, by the mid-60s, that tempo kind of cooled down into the smooth, soulful grooves of rock steady. But as we moved into the late 60s, young, innovative musicians did something totally revolutionary. They deliberately slowed those rhythms down even further. By pulling back the tempo, they created space. This allowed for deeper, heavier, bass-driven sounds. And you know, this slower pace wasn't just a stylistic choice. It gave the music a profound emotional weight. It allowed the social awareness in the lyrics to truly resonate with the listener.
And honestly, that social awareness, it was desperately needed. You see, this new sound was born right in the middle of severe social inequality, intense political conflict, and deep economic hardship in Jamaica. The people were really struggling. So for these young artists, this music was far, far more than just some entertainment for a Saturday night dance. It was a vital, necessary, and incredibly powerful outlet for expression. It was literally the voice of the streets, capturing the raw reality of daily survival and the undeniable resilience of the Jamaican people.
Which brings us to part 2, the sound and spirit.
So we've got the musical foundation, but what actually gave reggae its unmistakable, enduring soul? Well, you really cannot talk about reggae without talking about the Rastafari movement. Rastafari was, and is, a movement fundamentally emphasizing African identity, rich spirituality, the pursuit of liberation, universal peace, and a steadfast resistance against all forms of oppression. This provided the vital philosophy of hope and cultural pride that artists infused right into their lyrics. Reggae artists became the messengers. They used their music as a vehicle to communicate these powerful, uplifting principles of justice and pride to the rest of the world.
And those deep spiritual roots, they translate directly into the music itself. Think about it. Where more aggressive musical styles might rely on fast, harsh, anger-driven confrontation, reggae takes a completely different path. It's instantly recognizable by its heavy bass lines, that signature offbeat guitar rhythm, and uniquely relaxed tempos. It feels reflective. It feels deeply spiritual. Listeners around the world consistently describe reggae as calming, uplifting, and genuinely healing. It doesn't attack you. It invites you into a deeply emotional and soothing atmosphere.
Moving right along to part 3, the icon, Bob Marley. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how he became the central figure for this entire movement. Because whenever a movement goes global, there's usually a central figure who acts as the lightning rod for its message. For reggae, that figure is undoubtedly the legendary Bob Marley. Through the sheer power of his artistry, he helped transform reggae into a massive global phenomenon with incredibly specific iconic tracks. We're talking One Love, No Woman No Cry, Redemption Song, and Get Up Stand Up. These weren't just hit records, folks. They were unifying anthems. And what's so remarkable is how these specific songs effortlessly crossed international borders, transcended language barriers, and cut right through rigid political lines to inspire millions of people who were just searching for a message of hope. You see, Bob Marley became so much more than just a talented musician. He literally evolved into a global symbol of peace and human dignity. He proved unequivocally that music possesses the profound power to heal deep societal divisions. His songs encouraged people to believe that we could actually come together, perfectly united, regardless of our differences in race, nationality, or religion. He really lived the message that his music preached.
This leads us perfectly into part 4, protest fueled by optimism. Now, the absolutely crucial point here is understanding the dual nature of reggae. It acts as both a fierce weapon of resistance and, at the exact same time, a soothing balm of peace. The artists of this era did not shy away from the dark realities of the world. They fearlessly addressed incredibly heavy societal issues. They sang openly about crushing poverty, systemic inequality, brutal violence, the lasting scars of colonialism, and everyday injustice. They grabbed the microphone to confront these realities head-on, giving a voice to the voiceless and shining a massive, bright light on the struggles of the marginalized.
But here is what you should truly take away from this whole explainer. The message was never ever simply anger. It was always fundamentally about hope. It's uniquely brilliant how reggae balances harsh, unflinching social criticism with relentless optimism. It reminded listeners everywhere that even in the absolute darkest, most difficult times, peace and unity were still possible. It showed the world that you can demand social change and fight injustice without succumbing to hatred.
And that brings us to part 5, a global cultural force.
Because let's be real, this island rhythm didn't just stay in Jamaica. It absolutely conquered the globe. Reggae's DNA is essentially mapped out across incredibly diverse worldwide musical styles. Over the decades, it has heavily influenced hip-hop, punk rock, Afrobeat, Latin music, mainstream pop, and even electronic music. Its distinct rhythms and production techniques literally laid the groundwork for so much of what we listen to today. And alongside this musical influence, we saw a total explosion of international reggae festivals, bringing Jamaican culture enormous and completely well-deserved international recognition.
And all of that cultural recognition reached a monumental peak in the year 2018. This was the year that UNESCO officially added reggae music to its prestigious list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. This wasn't just a pat on the back for a few good songs. No, this was the global community officially recognizing reggae's massive, enduring importance to the culture of our entire planet.
From the vibrant streets of Kingston all the way to massive festival stages around the world, reggae continues to carry its message today. It is far, far more than just a musical genre. It is a profound philosophy. It is an active movement. It stands as a beautiful, rhythmic reminder that humanity's unity is ultimately way stronger than its division. It proves, for sure, that even the smallest island can change the whole world through rhythm and truth. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely vital thought. Even today, reggae remains deeply, deeply relevant. We live in a world that is unfortunately all too often divided by fear, conflict, and intense polarization. But reggae's rhythms actively remind us to slow down, to reflect, and to genuinely connect with one another. So I want to ask you, how can we take this music's philosophy of resilience, compassion, and togetherness, and use it to bridge the divides in our own lives today? How can we use empathy and art to create a better future built on love and human dignity?
I really hope this explainer has given you a brand new appreciation for the incredible power of this music. Thank you for joining Sphereblend. Subscribe to Sphereblend to musical traditions, customs, and stories. One world, many sounds.